This is a sample of the information provided as part of the flexible training resources available through HACCP.com. Our training courses are designed to provide training participants with an understanding of food safety and quality system elements and also offer user-friendly assessment activities and competency checklists to complete the training cycle. Sous vide processing. Key definitions for sous vide processing. Anaerobic microorganism, microorganisms that do not require oxygen to survive. Core temperature, the temperature at the core or middle of the items being assessed for temperature. Pathogenic microorganism, any microbiological entity including viruses, bacteria or other microorganisms that can cause foodborne illness in humans. Sous vide, sous vide, French for under vacuum, is a method of cooking that is intended to maintain the integrity and desirable attributes of food items by heating them for an extended period at relatively low temperature within a sealed plastic bag. Validated, the process of gathering evidence to provide a scientific basis for the documented act of demonstrating that a procedure, process and activity will consistently lead to the expected results. It often includes the qualification of systems and equipment. Sous vide processing development. When considering the development, documentation and implementation of sous vide processing within food safety and quality management systems, the following information should be considered to ensure effective outcomes. About sous vide processing. History of sous vide cookery. Benefits of sous vide cookery. Sous vide food safety considerations. Sous vide handling and storage. About sous vide processing. Sous vide is a professional cooking method which utilizes plastic oxygen barriers and precise temperature controls to cook food items with reduced oxidization and extend shelf life as outcomes. The process allows the controlled cooking of items in an oxygen-free environment, which if maintained, will last longer than foods cooked using more traditional methods by excluding food contact with aerobic bacteria after cooking. The outcomes of sous vide cookery include foods with naturally enhanced flavors and organoleptic qualities. History of sous vide cookery. Cooking foods in sealed environments is a technique used by numerous civilizations for hundreds of years. Whether it is in a clay pot, underground in plant leaves or plastic, the general technique delivers outcomes that are sought after for their high-quality aspects. The development of food-grade high-temperature resistant plastics recognized sous vide as a viable commercial cookery technique in the second half of the 20th century. The modern sous vide cookery technique is generally attributed to a group of French chefs, who discovered its many benefits in the mid to late 1960s. This discovery showed that by packing meat products into a vacuum-sealed plastic bag, and submersing it in a water bath with controlled heating, the shrinkage from the cooking process was significantly less than with traditional cookery methods. The organoleptic properties of the foods cooked in this way also showed significant improvement regarding flavor, texture and color. The lack of oxygen and protection from the heated water prevented the loss of flavor, while the gentle controlled heating action protected the protein from unnecessary damage during the cooking process. Sous vide is now commonly used in both high-volume and boutique catering and food manufacturing operational around the globe. The technique is favored for the favorable yields from cooking of meat products in particular. Yields which would otherwise be lost through conventional cookery methods. When applied under controlled conditions under the management of a HACCP-based food safety and quality system, sous vide can also replicate significant extensions in product shelf life and product consistency. Benefits of sous vide cookery. With food sealed in an oxygen-free environment and gently heated over an extended time frame, sous vide produces foods which are generally far more nutritionally sound than foods cooked using traditional methods. Precise control over heat, oxygen and the omission of added water all support the sous vide technique in retaining significantly higher percentages of nutrients than other cookery methods. Because the foods are not directly contacted by the heating source, there is also no requirement for added fats, which is also more nutritionally sound. Where fats are added to sous vide foods, these are generally for flavor or technological function. The fact that the foods are totally sealed during the sous vide process also retains water-soluble minerals that may otherwise be lost through other cookery methods. The oxygen-free environment in which the foods are cooked also reduces the amount of oxidation. Another acclaimed health benefit. Moisture retention is perhaps the most noticeable of all outcomes of sous vide cookery. This also impacts upon volatile flavors being retained in cooked foods. With the availability of significantly more natural flavor, the requirement for flavorings and additives such as salt are lessened. The lower temperatures at which sous vide cooking is conducted also assists in the preservation of vitamin content within foods. Though vitamin degradation will occur at any temperature, the oxygen-free cooking environment and lower cooking temperatures generally preserves significantly more vitamin content than with more common cookery techniques. Sous vide food safety considerations. Contrary to popular belief, vacuum packaging of foods does not totally exclude microbial growth. It is therefore important, as with any cookery method, to ensure standards of sanitation are maintained at their highest levels for sous vide cookery. One disadvantage with sous vide cookery is the inability of the facilitator to smell the product during the cooking process. In this context, it is generally considered good practice to assess items as they become available for product assessments. As with any cooking method, sous vide relies on good quality hygienic ingredients and inputs to achieve appropriate outcomes. The lower the levels of microorganisms on items packaged into sous vide bags, the lower the risk of potential microbiological foodborne illness occurring. There are no miracles with the sous vide process. Bad inputs will result in bad end products. Pathogen growth is perhaps one of the most important factors to consider when addressing potential hazards within a sous vide HACCP application. The low cooking temperatures combined with lack of oxygen can replicate an environment in which pathogens such as Clostridia can thrive. In this context, it is of utmost importance that sous vide techniques are scientifically validated and supported by ongoing verification activities. Potential risk from anaerobic microbiological pathogens growth within a sous vide process can be reduced by consideration of the following factors, many of which are unique to anaerobic methods of cookery. Due to the lack of preservatives such as salt in sous vide foods, the growth of microbiological pathogens may be enhanced. Whereas with preservatives, pathogen growth would be minimized through the action of such preservatives. Temperature control plays a critical role within the sous vide technique, and dictates the success of outcomes for many foods. It is important that the core temperature of sous vide items are maintained at appropriate temperatures during the cooking process to ensure the growth of pathogenic microorganisms does not manifest as a food safety concern. The structured validation of sous vide cookery times for specified sizes and shapes of items is required to ensure appropriate core temperatures are reached and maintained without the use of an invasive probe during the actual process, as the use of such a probe would ruin the sous vide process. Though general shelf life is expected to be extended for sous vide cooked items, it is of utmost importance that cookery time and temperatures are sufficient to effectively achieve a kill of anaerobic pathogens, which will otherwise thrive and may lead to food poisoning or even death of consumers. As with other cooking methods, sous vide items should be maintained at temperatures of 5 degrees Celsius or 40 degrees Fahrenheit prior to and after cooking. Likewise, the sous vide process itself should achieve a rapid transition through the temperature danger zone of 5 degrees Celsius or 40 degrees Fahrenheit and 60 degrees Celsius or 140 degrees Fahrenheit to the designated cooking temperature. Cooling of sous vide cooked items should also be conducted rapidly to ensure cooked items spend as little time as possible passing back down through the temperature danger zone until they reach 5 degrees Celsius or 40 degrees Fahrenheit or below. Items intended for reheating must be heated rapidly through the temperature danger zone of between 5 degrees Celsius or 40 degrees Fahrenheit and 60 degrees Celsius or 140 degrees Fahrenheit. It is recommended that food for reheating be taken straight from refrigerated storage for reheating. Higher risk items may need to be subjected to higher temperatures for food safety requirements. When applied under controlled conditions, including implemented food, personal and premise hygiene standards by trained professionals, the sous vide method can provide outcomes that are extremely safe and exclusive of uncontrolled risk of foodborne illness. Sous vide handling and storage. Time and temperature are among the two most important factors in the effective storage and handling of sous vide items. Prior to, during and after the sous vide process itself. The following considerations should be made as elements of any applied sous vide process. Raw vacuum packaged items should be stored for minimal time prior to sous vide cookery. This ensures the least growth time for any anaerobic microorganisms that may be sealed within the plastic bag. Use calibrated temperature monitoring equipment to verify storage and handling temperatures. Store packaged raw or cooked sous vide items separately, and preferably in regularly changes ice baths of circulated chilled water-cooled systems to ensure core temperatures are maintained at appropriate levels. Ensure the least amount of time as possible for all sous vide items, both raw and cooked, is spent within the temperature danger zone of 5 degrees Celsius or 40 degrees Fahrenheit and 60 degrees Celsius or 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Sous vide cooked items should be stored with the core temperature of less than 5 degrees Celsius or 40 degrees Fahrenheit and used, or frozen within a specified validated time frame. Use specialized equipment for the sous vide cooking process. Not a standard bain-marie or water bath. The sous vide process requires accurately controlled water temperatures to achieve desired outcomes and reduce the risk of foodborne illness. Only cook foods to validated safe temperatures within appropriate time frames. If suitable time frames and temperatures are not met, a very real risk of foodborne illness may be an outcome. Because of the high-risk nature of outcomes where the sous vide process is not validated, verified or standardized, it is often recommended that a competent food industry specialist is consulted regarding the development, validation, implementation, monitoring and verification of the cooking method. Did you know that HACCP.com includes resources that allow you to create, manage and implement GFSI and HACCP-based food safety and quality programs? Improve your food safety and quality skills and knowledge? Train and develop your team to create better food safety and quality outcomes? Find suppliers and service providers to partner with your business? The information and training resources available through HACCP.com include a variety of formats, such as website content, MP4, MP4 and text, MP3, PDF and slideshow. Are you ready to take the next step in your food compliance journey? Visit HACCP.com today to create your profile and access the full versions of our food safety and quality information packages and much more.